So the Sexbot has it in for all the humans and wants to kill all of them. And Murderbot's only 97% sure that it's a trap. What could go wrong? Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke, and today we're checking out Chapter 7 of Artificial Condition. Yes, we've been doing a chapter by chapter reaction and review of the Murderbot Diaries series. This is the second book in the series. If you'd like to follow along, there's a link in the description to Amazon. Go ahead, purchase the book and catch up with us. We've already done the first book, All Systems Red, and now we're jumping into this one, almost complete with this one. It's been a great read, and we're going to be reacting to Chapter 7. Here you go. 3 or 4 major things happen in this chapter. I'm not going to beat around the bush. We had a actual Sexbot encounter. And it didn't go the way that Murderbot thought it might. Actually, I have some predictions about this. But the Sexbot wants to kill everybody. Not sure. And even Murderbot was in on it. He was like, was this a command from Lacey? Did Lacey set, because Lacey said kill all of them. And then the Sexbot would have been like, yeah, kill all of them. But the Sexbot also knew that Murderbot was free. And also knew that, but didn't tell Lacey. Right? So this Sexbot has other ideas in mind as well. It actually wants to kill all the humans. And it wants Murderbot to do it, and of course Murderbot's not going to do it, right? Doesn't have a governor module. Any other maybe sec units without a governor module would, but our Murderbot wouldn't. Our Murderbot protects people. It likes people, sorta. It likes to protect people. I don't know that it likes people, but definitely likes to protect people. That whole encounter was really cool. You had Art in Murderbot's head. You had Tappan behind them over their shoulder. They're in this damp, dark, seedy hotel where there's an actual sex robot on the other side of the door. That to me was so interesting. It's so, like, they talk about Tappan as being younger. I'm imagining someone who's like 20 or 17 or 19, 22 maybe. I'm imagining a younger person, a younger girl, and Murderbot being this like protector of this younger girl when this, what in my mind is kind of like a prostitute, shows up at this seedy hotel, is just standing outside having a conversation with Murderbot, and then actually asking Murderbot to kill everyone, which is crazy. It's a pretty cool moment, to be honest with you. I could not stop reading it. I couldn't, and there's no reason for Murderbot to trust this thing, right? But we've had now an indication that Sexbots don't really follow the instructions that they're supposed to, right? Because in the previous chapter, Murderbot got the files from those comfort units, those Sexbots, and they said, they went on to try to help the humans, and all of them failed. Well, we didn't get to the end of the fourth one. The fourth one might have failed, but this Sexbot might be the fourth one. We don't know. Actually, I assume it is. I assume that it is the fourth one. I assume that Lacey had something to do with Garaka Pit, or whatever it's called. Right? Why not? It kind of all makes sense. And this Sexbot hates everyone. I love the line, also, kill everyone. Kill all the humans. Love that line. It really puts everything into perspective. But there was a line before that was pretty interesting too. And where Murderbot says, does Lacey know? Or Lacey sent a comfort unit to do the work of a sec unit. And the fact that Lacey knows that it's a sec unit and that Murderbot's a sec unit but doesn't know about the governor module is a very interesting thing. Is Tappan going to figure it out? Are other people going to find out about this? All a while, Art's in its head. Art's in Murderbot's head. And I kind of get like a little jealousy from Art, like living vicariously through Murderbot and getting to do all the cool things and protecting the humans. Because it feels like the ship would want to do that. That's pretty cool. The other cool moment in this chapter is it's right at the end. and Tappan is they've had to leave their hostel room. Tappan's gone to another room. Tappan and Murderbot's gone to another room. They get themselves in the room, re-barricade, relock, re-unlock. And anyway, Tappan scooches over and kind of comforts itself against Murderbot. I thought it was kind of cute. It is really cute, actually. It's really kind of nice. Murderbot's freaking out. Murderbot's like, I've never had a human touch me. Boy, I never had a human touch me at all. That's so weird. There were some other pretty interesting conversations that went down. Those are the two big things. Those are the two big takeaways. A couple of the other two things is how Murderbot kind of skirts by discussing what happened to it and why it is what it is. Tappan notices kind of immediately, like, you're really, really augmented. Like, what happened to you? And of course, Murderbot's like, it was a massive accident. I'm more machine now than man. Love Star Wars. And that the other thing is, according to the Sexbot, which we don't know, according to the Sexbot, Murderbot is the only one left on the planet from that group of 4 that Talesi doesn't know about Tappan. We're not sure yet. I always think there's too much gray area in these things. I always think the conspiracy is in. Someone wrote in the comments in a previous chapter that, yeah, these people are too greedy to have conspiracies. Usually their greed is just part of the story. Which, corporate fat cat greed, I get it. But I'm always big on conspiracies and what that kind of means. So we'll see. So essentially what happens is Murderbot meets up with Tappan. Tappan is asking Murderbot for help. Tappan and Murderbot escape to this like seedy, gross hostel. They have some hotel hostel thing. They have a conversation that's a little bit deeper than what Murderbot's super comfortable with. The sex robot shows up and is there to confront Murderbot and ask Murderbot for its help, even though the sex robot's not really following through with its plan, with what it's kind of supposed to do, right? Like, what was it? Like, why would Talesi send a sex robot and not a sec unit? My thought is that it's essentially subterfuge and sabotage. That you can send a sex bot to do that work and to do the research, right, from the previous meeting, to be like, oh yeah, that's a sec unit. That's this is this, this is this, this is that. And then if the sex bot just dies because the sec unit tore it in half, then, right? Because if you're Talesi, you're kind of depending on the sec unit to tear that sex bot in half the moment it finds out. If it doesn't have a governor module, that's for sure how that's going to go down, right? So you could say, oh, right, these people hired a rogue sec unit and blah, 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 preservation or whatever. But maybe the sex bot was telling the truth. Maybe not. There was a few funny quips in there. I guess my favorite funny quip is Art and Murderbot. If all the humans are dead, who's going to make the TV? Who's going to make the media? Thought that was kind of funny. Like, that's very much a joke I would make. It's very much a joke like Thor would make, someone who's just sarcastic and cynical, like, hey, but if we kill all the humans, who's going to make the TV? What are we going to do here? Right? And so by the time we get to the end of the conversation, we get to the end, and Tappan and Murderbot are there. Tappan decides to continue on with the meeting, hoping she can trust her dear friend. And Murderbot's now convinced Tappan to go with her, or at least accompany her. And this is where one of Murderbot's plans begins, which essentially is a bait and switch, a massive diversion, super depending on the Sexbot's thing. I also like that the Sexbot's confession. I also like that the Sexbot like sent a very light code, essentially a what do you call it? A note. You would send in like the 7th grade. You'd write on, well, okay, for the kids out there, what we used to do, we didn't have text messages, so we would really literally write notes in class and fold them up and pass them. That was our text messaging, right? And essentially the Sexbot did a text message. it sent malware code to Murderbot to see what was going on. And then what was cool was Murderbot was like, well, I'm not gonna open this, but Tappan can, and it sends it to Tappan, and Tappan opens it and it says, please help me, which I thought was cool. So I hope, by the way, I hope Sexbot joins Murderbot and Art on their adventures through space. I think it would be cool to have this thing continue where Murderbot now has a crew of people, right? I think that'd be kind of dope, but we'll see. That's one prediction I've got, is that the Sexbot will end up with Murderbot somehow, and they're going to remove its governor module so that it will be a free bot, and it can just, I guess, comfort whomever it wants to. Like Murderbot can murder whomever it wants to. Who knows? Kill all humans is quite the command. But it is interesting that the Sexbot found out. So somehow Murderbot's going to have to deal with the Sexbot, because the Sexbot's got something on Murderbot. So I'm hoping they join together and Murderbot doesn't have to kill the Sexbot, rip it in half. Another prediction I've got is that, we've already said this, that the Sexbot has something to do with the place, the pit. It's one of the 4. I think that Talesi is going to have something to do with that. I still think there's massive conspiracies here. I still think there's someone behind the curtain trying to peruse and sabotage and get at this alien tech that seems to be behind everything here. Pretty good chapter, pretty easy to read, not a lot happened, very dialogue heavy, very question and answer, misleading, manipulating, looking at things from one way, going the other way. But all in all, pretty solid chapter. We've got 2 more to go, 8 and 9. If we do the same sort of trajectory that we went on with the first book, then we'll have the next chapter, which will be the seminal chapter, and then some sort of after effect remainder chapter that will kind of sweep everything up, and we'll have Murderbot going on to continue its mission in finding out what it wants to do with its life, or how it's going to continue its mission. We might get a serious cliffhanger, which would be kind of cool. I mean, we got a pretty good cliffhanger, but like the wandering samurai or cowboy who goes off into the west to continue its search, pretty standard, not a great cliffhanger for the first book. I kind of hope we get like an Empire Strikes Back here, where we end the book with like Murderbot being trapped or something, and it's like, dun dun dun, you must get the next book to continue reading. That would be cool. I don't think it's gonna happen, but yeah, pretty good read. I think that's it for me. If you'd like to follow along, once again, you can buy the book with the link from Amazon in the description. If you want to support the channel, also, we have memberships. They're $2. You can support the channel by joining our memberships. We'll have some stuff for you. But at the moment, it's really just helping me put some stuff on the walls and maybe, buy a cup of coffee every once in a while. So I would love that. And if you could help, that'd be great. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. But until next time, later, taters.